We're going to keep going here with the conditionals part of it. So I'm still in that same file here. And what we had up above, remember, was our if, okay? And just a real quick review. If is always followed by parentheses, right? Inside a print, just like print is, right? Just like print, we have a parentheses, and whatever is inside of that is what we print. Well, with the if statement, we have parentheses, and whatever's inside those is what we evaluate. So does this thing, right? If we were to compare the thing on the left with the thing on the right, is it true? If it is, we have the colon, and then we indent the code that we want to run, and when the indent runs out, we're done with running the code that happens if it's true. We had an else statement, which is the other side of that if. So if this evaluated to false, then we want to run this, okay? But let's say we have another use case here, because in our case, right, we print hello instructor name, otherwise we print hello student here, and I'm going to get rid of all of these because we don't need that many. What if we wanted to say, hello instructor, hello student, but we only wanted to say hello student if it was a particular person? Or let's say we had an assistant instructor, something like that, right? So we've got more than one use case. So we'll come down here again and we'll say if name equals Rob, just some good practice here, then we'll print hello instructor, okay? Instead of going straight to the else, which is what we did before, and we'll put in here print hello there. Okay, there is another keyword that is associated with these if statements. Okay, if we've got more than one, right, we've got an if, otherwise do this. If we have a third case, so if this is true, then do this. If something else is true, the keyword here is elif. Okay, that is followed by parentheses as well. So the el stands for else. And so it looks just like above. It's going to work just like this one. The only difference is we're going to put EL in front of it, and that tells Python this is part of this same if statement. Okay, so we'll say elif name equals Akash. Then we'll print hello assistant. Okay, else do this. So this is 3 in 1, and I'm going to put that note here. All right, elif means it is part of the state, we'll say the conditional statement. It falls down like a waterfall, and the first one that is true is the only one that will be run, okay? The reason I say that is because I'm going to give you contrast here, right? So let's go through it again real quick. If name equals Rob, then do this, right? That's the only one that will be run. These don't matter. Python will ignore those because we've already found the true one, okay? This isn't true, then let's run this one, okay? If it is true, then we'll print this off. We don't need to do this because we already found one that was true. If that's not true, well, we've come to the end of it here, so we simply do this and then we move on. What the contrast would be this. I'm going to paste exactly the same thing. Okay, we've got if name equals Rob, print that. If I change this to an if statement, these are now completely separate. So this is one if statement that's going to get evaluated. It will see, is this true? It's not, so don't print that. Okay, or it is true, I'll print that. We go to the next one. It doesn't matter whether this one was true because this is a new conditional, right? Put an enter there. Right? These are completely separate, and so it's going to start over, okay? So again, if name equals Rob, it does. So I'm going to print hello instructor. I'm going to go on, and I'm going to see, oh, here's another if statement. If name equals Akash, well, it doesn't, so I won't do anything, so I'll print off hello there. Okay, up here, it's different with the elif because the elif is what keeps it sort of tagged to that if. This is one thing. I want you to figure out which one of these is true, so make that note. In other words, an elif means which one of these is true. And I'll put down here, more than one if means they are evaluated separately. Python is going to look at this one and then be done, and then it's going to look at this little chunk here and then be done. Okay, let's run our code real quick just so that we can make sure that that's the case. So running Python 3 against our conditionals. Let's run that. Enter your name. I put in Rob. We get hello instructor Rob. That's from the old one, the old conditional statement. It says hello instructor, It says hello instructor again, and then it says hello there. Well, let's look and see what the process was. Okay, so this was the end of that one, that out of the conditional statement. So that's that part. We've got two hello instructors. Well, that's what this first one is. We come down here, it prints this one off, okay, because this is by itself. And then it checked to see which one of these is true, and this is the one that was true. So I'm going to put a space in there to try and make that clear. Okay? If I change this to an elif, this is now one block instead of two blocks. So if I run the exact same code, and a really important shortcut, if you hit the up arrow, it will run. Usually you can cycle back through all of your old commands, but if you hit the up arrow, it will go to your last command. I'm going to hit that. I'm going to put in here Rob. Okay, we got this line and that line, that's expected. We got hello instructor both times, but we don't get this last one. And the reason we don't is because this is now a block instead of what it was before, where it was an if statement. And this was a block, and then it also ran this one. Okay, so I'm going to move on from conditionals because we've got some more, there's so much more exciting stuff to do. This will continue. We just need to continue coding this, and it will make more sense. But the gist is we've got these three keywords, if, elif, and else. Else never has parentheses because that's the last use case. That's the, hey, nothing else worked case. Okay, if is always the first one, and elif is all of the ones in between your if and your else. Okay? I will see you in the next lecture.